Bhagavatam Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jaya Gopi Janavara Girivaradari Yasadanandana Shiva Prabhupada Patita Pavana Ki Jai Gaura Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2, Text 3. Шесть, два, три. We don't have a verse on the, so we can repeat it. Rajanam pitaro ye cha shastara sadhava samaha yadisyateshu vaishamyam kam yanti sharanam prajaha. Rajanam pitaro ye cha shastara sadhava samaha yadisyateshu vaishamyam kim yanti sharanam prajaha. Yes.
Rajanam pitaro yecha Shastara sadhavasama Yadisyate shuvaisamyam Kamyati sharanam praja Rajanam pitaro yecha Shastara sadhavasama Yadisyate shuvaisamyam Kamyati sharanam praja Rajanam pitaro yecha Shastara sadhavasama Yadisyate shuvaisamyam Kamyanti sharanam praja
Rajanam, of the citizens. Pitaraha, protectors, guardians. Kings or government servants. Ye, they who. Cha, and. Shastaraha, give instructions concerning law and order. Sadhavaha, endowed with all good qualities. Samaha, equal to everyone. Yadi, if. Syat, there is. Teshu, among them. Vaishamyam, partiality. Will go. Sharanam, Rajaha, the citizen. Translation. Official should be so well qualified that he acts as father, maintainer and protector of the citizens because of affection and love. He should give the citizens good advice and instructions according to the standards and should be equal to everyone. Raja does this, he is the supreme master of justice. and so do those who follow in his footsteps. However, if such persons become polluted and exhibit partiality by punishing an blameless person, where will this go to their maintenance and security? Prabhupada. The king, or in modern time, the government, should act as the guardian of the citizens by teaching them the proper goal of life. The human form of life is especially meant for realization of oneself and one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because this cannot be realized in animal life. The duty of the government, therefore, is to take charge of training all the citizens in such a way that by a gradual process they will be elevated to the spiritual platform and will realize the self and his relationship with God. This principle was followed by kings like Maharaja Yudhishthira, Maharaja Parikshit, Lord Ramachandra, Maharaja Ambarish, and Prahlada Maharaja. The leaders of the government must be very honest and religious, because otherwise all the affairs of the state will suffer. Unfortunately, in the name of democracy, rogues and thieves are electing other rogues and thieves to the most important posts in the government. Recently, this has been proved in America. Maybe it's about Nixon, where the president had to be condemned and dragged down from his post by the citizens. This is only one case, but there are many others. Because of the importance of Krishna consciousness movement, people should be Krishna conscious and should not vote for anyone who is not Krishna conscious. Then there will be actual peace and prosperity in the state. When a Vaishnava sees mismanagement in the government, he feels great compassion in his heart and he is best to purify the Hare Krishna movement. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunamiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, verse. Prajanam pitaro yecha shastara sadhavaha samaha yadi syakte shuvaisham yam kam yanti sharanam prajaha. O king, a king or governmental official should be so well qualified that he acts as a father, maintainer, and protector of the citizens because of affection and love. He should give the citizens good advice and instructions according to the standard scriptures and should be equal to everyone. Yamaraja does this, for he is the supreme master of justice, and so do those who follow in his footsteps. However, if such persons become polluted and exhibit partiality by punishing an innocent, blameless person, where will citizens go to take shelter for their maintenance and security? So this is very important. Canto actually prescribed duties for mankind. We know that there is a Manu Samhita, and Manu Samhita is not very suitable for Kali Yuga, actually, because it's not easy in Kali Yuga to know who is a Brahmana, actually, who is a Kshatriya, who is Vaishya, and who is a Shudra. And well, Prabhupada, in one place, he said to the devotees that Manu Samhita is not so important for Kali Yuga. But in other places, he told that, Manu Samhita is a good scripture to study, actually. But of course, we can see that Srila Prabhupada doesn't give us Manu Samhita with his commentaries. He gives Srimad-Bhagavatam. So Srimad-Bhagavatam is most important scriptures for Kali Yuga, for Vaishnava, for Gaudiya Vaishnava, for Srila Prabhupada Vaishnava. And actually, Srimad-Bhagavatam covers every topic. Yeah, it's okay. Srimad-Bhagavatam covers every topics that we have in life. Family life, renounced life, how to eat, how to sleep, how to maintain ourselves, everything. There is some philosophical statements in Srimad-Bhagavatam, and after the statements we can find so many stories how these statements was applied in lives of so many devotees, in the lives of family devotees, in the lives of kings or renounced devotees, Brahminical devotees, wealthy devotees, not very wealthy devotees. We can see in Srimad Bhagavatam there is a descriptions even how animals apply, instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam, like Gajendra. When this crocodile attacks him, Gajendra, it's not usual elephant, because usually elephants didn't do this, but Gajendra was fortunate enough. So Gajendra is remembered. Somewhere it is said that I should, approach to the Lord when I have a problem. And take this lotus flower and make his prayers. And it is said that whoever have a problem in life can repeat this Gajendra prayer, it will help him. Actually, we have lots of prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam, and after all these prayers, there are some Shruti-phala given. If you chant this prayer, you will get this benefit. So if we are a little bit materialistic, we will feel inspiration to chant this prayer. Of course, Prabhupada told us that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough. But we can chant some other prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is one devotee in Mayapur. I think Koladvip is his name. He's a disciple of Jayapatak Swami. And he has some astrology school like that. And when he came to Jayapatak Swami with this idea to have astrological school to preach through astrology, Maharaj told him, don't give any material solution for the people, because there is no material solution, actually. And Jayapatak Maharaj advised to him, you just take some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, if you have this problem in life, this verse is good for you. Chant this verse. For example, from Gajendra prayer. If you have family life, you can chant this verse. They have material problem, they have material attitude, but they will chant Srimad Bhagavatam verse. And of course, if they are ready to chant Hare Krishna, just give them Hare Krishna. And that's okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam covers everything. And Srimad Bhagavatam is for everyone, for women, for men, for animal. We see this. In this canto, why this canto is so important? This canto explains to us how to be a devotee in this material world and continue our material, continue our material work and our material duties and so on. So this canto of Srimad Bhagavatam teaches how to connect our day-by-day life with Krishna. And this is very important because sometimes devotees think that, there is a spiritual life and there is a material life. And material life is bad. spiritual life is very good. So I should give up my work. I should give up my, family. I should give up all my responsibilities and just be a devotee. It was like that in 90s, when I became a devotee. It was 1992, 1993, like that, and I, I was a brahmachari in the temple, and there was uh, 30 or 40 brahmacharis there. And minimum half of them was those who, give up families, give up work. And of course, if you try to be a brahmachari and you have, uh, this anchor behind your back, and this anchor is holding you up, you can't be brahmachari for a long time. Brahmachari life is for one who young, have a strength. Then after brahmachari, he may become a grihastha or sannyasi, like that, more mature status in life. But this brahmachari, 50 years old brahmachari, his wife, and he have to pay. We call it in Russia. Алименты, я не знаю, как это.
Family maintenance payments.
Yeah.
Maintenance for the family.
Yeah, you have to.
Monthly payment for maintenance.
You have to do this, and he is a brahmachari, and he needs money. It was very funny brahmachari. There was a brahmachari for maybe 1-2 years. Of course, they will get some benefit because they're chanting Hare Krishna, they, eating prasadam and so on. But eventually they go, and as Prabhupada once said, we don't see them again. Because you just can't divide your life. Now I'm a devotee, and after morning class, after morning prasadam, yeah, I'm free. I'm a materialistic person because this is material life. I can do whatever I like because I'm not a devotee anymore. I saw it so many times that devotee divide their life, devotional, not devotional. But Bhagavatam teach us you shouldn't have material life. You should have only devotional life. But also you should know how to connect your material life with devotional service. Just like Prabhupada not once, but so many times he told us that you should just add Krishna to your life. Please get rid of meat eating, intoxication, only 4 things, he said. He said only 4 things you should give up. And this is not how to say, and this is not make your life miserable if you don't eat meat, don't drink alcohol and so on. It doesn't make your life miserable. When I became a devotee, just became a devotee, yeah. I was very young, I was 14 years old, like that. And as any young devotee, I was very fired up with preaching mood. I was willing to preach, day and night. And it was actually like that. Sometimes I preached till 2 or 3 a.m. We started in 10 p.m. and finishing 2 or 3 a.m. It was my relatives and so on. So once I have discussion with one of my relatives. He was a husband of my future auntie. Aunt, yeah, it's my aunt. And he told me, you're a foolish, he told me, because you don't eat meat, you don't drink alcohol, but I assure you, your seniors do this. Your gurus, they do this. When you not see them, they eat meat, they drink. It was so funny, actually. He really think that you can't live without meat. And some years ago, I'm thinking, now I'm this senior. I'm preacher, and in the Russia, I have sort of, уважаемая, respected position. Yeah. So for some devotees, I'm a senior, and maybe someone told to these devotees that I'm eating meat and drinking alcohol, when they don't see. So materialistic person just can't imagine life without all these things. But Prabhupada told us that, only for easy thing. Maybe sex is not so easy, maybe. But therefore we have a family life. In some extent, it's allowed there. But eating meat, it's not a problem. Completely not a problem. We have such prasadam. Drinking alcohol, it's not a problem. For example, I never drink alcohol in my life. When I became a devotee in 14. So no. There was one instance. I take beer. I just put it in my mouth, and I understand it's like a urine, in the taste, and I just spit it. And after that, I never take it anymore. Because, how people can enjoy it? it's very funny. We know that people not enjoying, people just have addiction. Addiction is not enjoyable. I'm a psychologist and I know this. Addiction is not enjoyable at all. Addiction means that you are suffering with this addiction. You are suffering. Of course, there is a difference things, and also, for example, addiction to heroin, it's much more bigger than addiction to I don't know, coffee, like that. It's different type of addiction, but still, this is addiction, and addiction means suffering. If you are addicted, you are suffering without this thing that you are addicted to. And just have Krishna. You can maintain your work, your family, and just add Krishna to it. And you will become happy. So this is a Bhagavad Paslanya. Yeah, this is Bhagavatam message in nutshell, Prabhupada said, that just add Krishna. You can you can live like a Kunti, very miserable condition actually. Kunti she lives in the palace, but this palace was full of persons who want to kill her own children. It was a very difficult position. But she stayed in devotees and she will be happy. And she was happy with this. And when we know that when Krishna willing to go to Dwaraka, Kunti Devi told him, please let all this happen again, because you was on our side. I saw you every time and I feel this connection with you. Please let this miserable condition continue. Because I have connection with you in this condition. And now you go to Dwaraka. And in Srimad-Bhagavatam, we can see the Kardama Muni. He was very poor before, and after he became very rich. And from one hand, from another hand, we saw Kuru dynasty. They was very rich materially, and all of them was a devotee, pure devotee, in a very different material situation, in any different material circumstances. So that is that what make Srimad Bhagavatam like a brilliant. Yeah, there is a philosophical statement, and so many stories how you can apply the statement to you. No, I'm not Kunti, I'm not a woman. No problem. You're a man. What he doing in this situation? Here you can see how he applied these philosophical statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. You're not a man, no problem. Let's see Gajendra, he's an elephant. You can't say that Srimad Bhagavatam is not for you. You can't say that Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't understand it, I can't apply it. It's not like a Vedanta Sutra. just 3 words, and do whatever you like with it. In Kali Yuga, we don't have a brain to understand all these difficult scriptures like Vedanta Sutra, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and so many commentaries. And these commentaries sometimes contradict to each other. How to understand it? No, Srimad-Bhagavatam is very easy. Srimad-Bhagavatam. An interesting point that Srila Prabhupada makes Srimad-Bhagavatam even easier. Even easier. When I studied Srimad-Bhagavatam, I saw this interesting thing. If there is some contradictional point, philosophical point, you can find that Srila Prabhupada so many times mentioned this point from different angles of view to make it understandable for you. In this commentary, in that commentary. Therefore, after every Srimad-Bhagavatam book, we have this glossary or index. There is a topics. For example, if you want to understand what Srimad-Bhagavatam told about karma, you can take all Srimad-Bhagavatam, all these books, go to the back, to the end of Srimad-Bhagavatam and find karma in glossary. And you will find everything what Srimad-Bhagavatam told about karma in this canto, and what Srila Prabhupada told about Srimad-Bhagavatam in his commentaries. Then you get another book, and that's how you can have a very broad conception of karma, what Srila Prabhupada taught about this, and you will have no illusions. The pity is that devotee doesn't read Srimad-Bhagavatam. I'm a preacher, and I saw it so many times. Devotees have so many illusions in their minds because they don't read Srimad-Bhagavatam, they don't read Prabhupada's books. Everything is very easy. Prabhupada make it very easy. Sometimes when he dictate his commentary, after dictation, he may dictate about 10, 15 minutes. After that, he will sit for a couple of minutes and erase his commentary, dictate it again, because he think I can make it easier, as much easier as I can, because my books will be read by different persons, and these persons will have a different backgrounds, different intelligent, how to say, power, and so on. So I should make it very easier and very understandable. And I should give my commentary in a way that you don't have to speculate about it. Everything is clear. Actually, therefore, Prabhupada's books is brilliant. Sometimes devotee send me books of another authors, also Vaishnava, and sometimes also disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. But actually, it's like in Russia we say "небо и земля." I don't know. Есть ли такая поговорка на английском?
Huge difference.
Yeah. Like a sky, and the ground, like a moon and the earth. Because Prabhupada make a great work. And if we just read Srimad-Bhagavatam, we can understand how to be a devotee day by day, day by day, day by day, day after day, day after day. How to be a devotee if my wife, for example, is devotee. And how to be a devotee if my wife is not a devotee. How can I remain a devotee in this situation? You can read it, you can take it from Srila Prabhupada's books. You just should read it. For example, this verse and commentary for those who have some position in society. He should be like Pitaraha. Pitaraha, we know this Sanskrit word also means father, like a father. You shouldn't exploit your progeny. and by Praja, citizens. And of course, by Praja, we know that Veda means people, animals, and trees, and so on. All of this is a Praja for king, yeah, for government servants. And he should be like a Pitara. Interesting point in psychology, there is a term megalomaniac. I don't know. I think in English it's pronounced like that. Megalomaniac. It's one who, who really wants to have a power. He really wants it because he likes to exploit others. He likes to exploit uh, his whatever opportunity he has for his own benefit. And this person is worst candidate for be a leader because he's not a pitara. He's an exploiter. He even can be happy family life. His wife will hate him. His children will hate him. Nobody loves exploiters. Nobody loves it. But he really wants to be a leader because it gives him power. And from this Srimad-Bhagavatam verse, we can understand that, yeah, a megalomaniac shouldn't be a leader. And also, this verse is very good for a preacher, for a Brahmana, because Brahmana should preach. And also, interesting point, I think sometimes we are too socially aloof, we can say. We have our own small ISKCON, we chanting Hare Krishna here. We don't interesting all this material stuff like that. And I think it's not very good idea. We can see that Prabhupada was very socially related. For example, he taught about abortion, he taught about what leaders should be, and so on. He was very social, I can say. His preaching was very social to the people. And so this verse is good for a Brahmana also, because Brahmana should teach people. For example, Brahmana can, by using this verse, Brahmana can teach people what leader should be. Leader should be a Pitara. You should elect this one because he is a Pitara. And also, if a leader studies Srimad-Bhagavatam, for example, in Russia, in юридический университет, law university that study laws, they actually study Srimad-Bhagavatam there. Once my wife was in Trolley, and she reading Srimad-Bhagavatam, and her neighbor told her, "Oh, you also study in this university?" She no, I'm a for Krishna, therefore I reading. Oh, in our university they make us study because they think that Roman law from Roman Empire, and Roman law is basis for European and American law now. Roman law based on Vedic law. They told us in university. Therefore, sometimes they have Srimad-Bhagavatam in their library in university. Nobody read it actually, but they have it because it's a law here. It's about law that presidents or person like that should be like a Pitara. And we are preachers, and we should tell this. We should tell this to the people. You should elect this one. You should elect person like that. And politicians, they will be forced to be like that. If the people in general want to have a leader like that, well, what to do? I should be like that. I should be like Pitaraha, or they will not elect me. Of course, it's not working in Russia, actually. There is no elections, actually, for about 20 years already. There was no election. So it's not working. But here it may work. If you preach like that, here it may go. If I will preach like that in Russia, I maybe go to jail, actually. Because you should be loyal, you should tell something like that. It's not very good. But here we can do so. So for Brahman, it's also very, very good verse for preaching, because it's very social related topic. You can show to the people how Bhagavatam beneficial for them. Bhagavatam beneficial not only for devotees, for everyone. Prabhupada, when Prabhupada translate this term Bhagavan, he often use this Latin, words sunum bonum, the whole good for everyone, not just for devotees. Sometimes devotees feel that Krishna is to us. We are just like little confession, little religion. We just by our own. Like that. No. We should be very socially related, socially focused, because we are preachers. We should think how to give Krishna consciousness to the people in general, how they can, get benefit from it. For example, here we can understand what should we preach about leader, what leader should be, and people may, ask leader to be like that, and that's how we can change the face of our country. Then leader maybe have to buy Srimad-Bhagavatam. They ask me to be like that. Maybe I should buy Srimad-Bhagavatam to understand how to be like that. For example, when they have mayor, one who rules city, in Vilnius, in Lithuania. So the mayor came to devotees, because devotees, how to say, the small community, but they are active and they are important. He came to them and told them, I am for you, I am with you. Yeah, Krishna is good, like that. And sometimes he's participated with Harinam also. And he see Harinam with his family, he, participate with all his family. Yeah, because Krishna people is important for me. Prabhu Vishnu Maharaj once sent me this picture and video he took in England. They have a temple in London, and this George Harrison mentioned, how they call it? Yeah, Bhaktivedanta Mandir. And Boris Johnson came there, because Indian community is very strong in England. And he came there, he, offered garland to Srila Prabhupada, he chant Hare Krishna, what to do? This Krishna people is strong here in the society, what can I do? Yeah, maybe I don't love Krishna, but what can I do? I should chant a little bit, to satisfy them. So that how can we preach, by preaching, because Brahmana, in this way, Brahmana is more, more powerful than Kshatriya, because Brahmana preach. Brahmana have this power of preaching. Brahmana change the attitude of the people, change mindset, and with this changing attitude, people, have new demanding for to the king, to the president, to the local governments, and they have to, answer it. So we should preach, and this is my sincere conviction. This is my sincere conviction that devotees should be very socially focused in their preaching. Our preaching should be focused on the people in general. It's very important, not to us, to the small community of the devotees. I saw that if our preaching is focused on the devotees, after some times devotees became less and less. Devotees go to the open world, and community or temple that focused on this preaching to only to the devotees. Usually there are 3, 4 devotees or 2 devotees, and that's all. It's very small, sectarian, we can say, actually. So we have a message for everyone, and we should distribute it to everyone very freely. And actually, people in general, they can,
Appreciate.
yeah, actually they appreciate it because they don't see the truth in any other, they don't have truth from any other sources. Politics fools them. Yeah. Even a religious person exploit them. Even religious person, you just give our money, just give your money to us. That's all. For example, once in Vladivostok in Russia, in far east of Russia, we have a Radha Yatra. Very great festival. I do some yagya there, to make it more beautiful for the people in general. And there was chanting and prasadam distribution. So it's very good program, actually. Thousands of people was there. Thousands. In Vladivostok, they about 1 million, city about this 1 million population. So it's very good program. And there was a police officer. He was sent there to, how to say, protect us and like that. And he told me, you're very, very interesting people. A few months ago, I also was protecting, some gathering of Orthodox Church. And everyone there was very rich, good car, really good car, expensive car, like a premium class. And he's a священник, he's a priest. Now, priest should be, yeah, maybe not poor, but somehow he shouldn't be like richest person in the city like that. Yeah, but they all was this very rich car and so on. I can see that you're a real preacher. You don't you're not about rich. You're about rich. I like it. So we really have something to give to the people. And we should do this. We should understand Srimad-Bhagavatam, should study it every day, and then we should give it to the people. And actually, people will appreciate it because nobody give them truth. Actually, nobody. Nobody have the truth like in Srimad-Bhagavatam. Nobody. And nobody have Srila Prabhupada's commentary. Yeah. In Srimad Bhagavatam, truth given so many ways, from so many, view angles. But Srila Prabhupada with his commentary make this truth even brighter, yeah? even more understandable. So we have a very good weapon. Like he's here in the verse we can see this word Shastra. And this word Shastra have two meanings. One of the meaning of Shastra is spiritual scripture, and another meaning is weapon. Kshatriya weapon, like a sword and everything like that. So Shastra is a weapon for Brahmana. And Brahmana is always, we can say, in war with the illusion. We should use, and if we not reach Srimad Bhagavatam, we are weaponless in this world. And Maya will conquer us. Maya will defeat us if we don't have this Shastra, this weapon in our hand. So devotees should read Srimad Bhagavatam and should preach Srimad Bhagavatam. And actually, people waiting for this truth. People waiting. People are not idiots. Are not idiots, but they are obmanuted. Yeah, they be cheated. Yeah, we know that there is a devotees, there is a demons, and there is a Prabhupada said innocent people. And innocent people is majority. And they just waiting for absolute truth. They're just waiting for Srimad Bhagavatam message. And somehow we should give it to them in a word that they will understand it, in a way that they will accept it. But we should give them Srimad-Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. I don't know if there is any question. I hope you understand me. My English is still not ideal.
Can you elaborate more on Prabhupada was emphasizing that there should be Varnashram college?
Yeah, Varnashram college is very, very good also very good for preaching, actually. Interesting point that if you are, for example, there is a Shikshamrita, it's books of letters from Srila Prabhupada. And there is letters that in this titled Varnashram. And you can see how Srila Prabhupada, how to say, progressed in his mind about, in his view about Varnashram. For example, in the first letters, you can see that Prabhupada thought, Varnashram is not so important. You just chant Hare Krishna and go to the Krishna. In later letters, he writes, yeah, this is a very good idea. We should make this Varnashram college. I think Prabhupada use or want to use Varnashram as a preaching instrument. Because if you show to the big world, yeah, we can say, Varnashram system, they will attract it more, and there will be an intelligent person who will attract. Persons who already, try to rule, try to manage it here, and when they see a Varnashram system, they may think, yeah, it's a very good instrument. Actually, Varnashram is very natural. Of course, there may be Asuri Varnashram. Therefore, Prabhupada thought about Varnashram. I think like that. Actually, I don't see Varnashram anywhere right now. But this is a very good instrument for preaching. And also, I think Varnashram is a very good instrument that devotee may connect with the government also. If a devotee have a good position in the country, we can give to the government this idea of Varnashram. Because idea is very brilliant, it's a very good idea. And they may use it for the benefit. Actually, I really don't believe that we can create Varnashram outside of big, society. Because Varnashram means Kshatriya. Kshatriya means one who, have a law, established law, yeah, and he protected law, so you should have a police. I don't think that devotee want to have a police, your own police like that. But Varnashram is a very good idea to approach to the government and approach to the people who are on the top of the society. It's a very good idea. To the people in general, we have prasadam, we have a chanting, we have a very good, very, very simple program. But to the people who is in church, we can have a Varnashram and we can show them. Prabhupada often say that ISKCON is Brahminical movement. So we give a knowledge. And ideally, devotee will remain a brahmanas, and government will, get knowledge from them. I think this will be the ideal thing. And maybe this was intention of Prabhupada when he thought about Varnashram. So we can show to the world that there is a system, already, ideal system, very good system, just apply it. And we will teach you how to apply it. We will teach you how to apply for the benefit of everyone, like that. But in 90s, this Varnashram idea, wake up in 90s. And I remember it. It was very funny. The temple president automatically became a kshatriya. You should be a kshatriya, It was funny. I was a temple president. I'm not a kshatriya, at all. It was a funny idea. And also I see that not every devotee understands Varnashram, because not every devotee, because usually devotee is very simple, very simple persons, very simple people. They understand Varnashram as also something very simple, but no, it's very complex thing, very complex. You should have an intelligence to understand it, and you should have even more intelligence to apply it. For example, Brahmana have an intelligence to understand it, but he don't have any desire to apply it, to be a kshatriya like that. I'm a preacher. It's enough for me. So I think Svarnashram idea is to preach to higher lawyer of the society, and they can accept it and apply it, and that how the whole society can get a benefit. For example, when I last time was here in Helsinki, I heard they cancel, they forbidden to take fish in any social gathering here in Helsinki. Fish or meat, they forbidden to use this plastic also. This is good idea. Yeah, they don't, making a law that you must chant Hare Krishna on any social gathering. But also, it's a good start to propagate vegetarianism, for example. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just read it in newspaper. You can't use fish or meat on social gathering. I don't know. And plastic glass and plastic plates, you can't use it. Is that was answer for the question? Okay. Oh, we have no time for another question. Thank you very much. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Patit Pavana ki jai.